It's a well-known saying, there are only two certainties in life, death and taxes. So Adam Riley, as part of a series on presidential issues, is taking a look at where the candidates stand on the latter.
Ask a political pundit and they'll tell you the 2016 presidential race is unpredictable. But on one key issue, tax policy, it's anything but.
I am proposing an across-the-board income tax reduction. The rich will pay their fair share, but no one will pay so much that it destroys jobs.
Which puts the often unorthodox Donald Trump right in the Republican mainstream. He'd collapse the existing 7 income tax brackets into 3, with marginal tax rates of 12, 25, and 33%. Right now, the current top rate is 40%.
Cutting taxes for everybody is an attractive idea.
And notes BU tax expert Alan Feld, Trump would go further. He'd slash the corporate tax rate from 35 to 15%, create a big new deduction for childcare, and repeal the estate tax, aka the death tax, which would benefit the very rich. Problem is,
if you don't raise it through the tax system, you have to borrow the money to spend, or you have to cut spending. And he hasn't, so far as I can tell, indicated how he's going to make up the shortfall.
A shortfall the conservative-leaning Tax Foundation puts at $4.4 to $5.9 trillion. Trump's campaign says the cuts would spur growth and be offset by unspecified reforms. As you might expect, Hillary Clinton's tax pitch is starkly different.
We will fight for a more progressive, more patriotic tax code.
In other words,
her message is fairness. We want to make sure that the wealthy and the well-to-do pay their fair share.
So Clinton is pitching a new 4% surcharge on incomes over $5 million. She'd also close loopholes for wealthy individuals and make it harder for tax-averse U.S. corporations to move overseas. In exchange, she promises
new tax credits to encourage more companies to offer paid apprenticeships, a new tax credit to encourage more companies to share profits. We should expand the child tax credit.
And that's just a partial list of what the Wall Street Journal calls Clinton's tax credit sweepstakes. The Tax Foundation says Clinton's plan would increase revenue by nearly $500 billion over 10 years, but also reduce growth. If Clinton wins, Feld thinks her proposals will get a chilly reception in Washington.
It would be a very hard sell. You will not get a lot of popular support, I think, for going too much beyond where we are now.
By the same token, Trump's plan could be kaput if he wins, but Democrats retake the Senate. Then again, if the presidency and both houses of Congress end up in Republican hands, America could see its most extreme tax makeover in recent memory.
Let me see if I can get one name right. It's Adam, right? Adam
me,
Riley.
yes.
Nice to see you, Adam. A couple of questions. Wide range of potential impact of the Trump tax agenda. Why such a broad spectrum?
It is a huge range. It all depends on who gets to pay that 15% corporate tax rate that Trump's floated. In the simplest possible terms, if small businesses and investment partnerships can pay that rate, as opposed to doing business the way they usually do it tax-wise, yeah, they get a huge tax cut. Trump has sent conflicting signals saying they can, but also they can't. We still don't have clarity.
Child care, you filled in the blanks pretty much on Trump. What's the Clinton parallel?
Clinton says deductions are the wrong way to go because they benefit the wealthy who are paying a higher tax rate. She wants to use tax credits. She says she wants to limit total payments for child care to 10% of income. So that would take a lot of credits because a lot of people are paying a lot more than that right now.
How about Johnson and Stein?
Our friend from Lexington is a little bit squishy on this. She has talked about making the wealthy and Wall Street and corporations pay their fair share. In the past, she's talked about tax cuts for lower wage earners. It does not seem to be a priority right now. Gary Johnson wants to totally change the tax system. He wants to go to a consumption tax. So we wouldn't be taxed based on what we earn, but based on what we spend. And he claims he could do that in such a way that your average run-of-the-mill family would spend no more on basic necessities than they do today.
Adam, thanks so much. These are really good. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.